Okay, after thinking it through, since stone is not working on heaven, I'm just gonna go for plate 7 and then go auto heaven. You could also lower your sight, increase your strength, and skill up daggers and aggressive stance, and just focus on killing these bandits with a dagger. But since I'm a Shibra, and after you get Thaumaturge and the speed clades, there's not such a rush to pick anything else. I feel like I'm good to go right now. Remember to talk with the tamer trainer on the stables before you leave. You're gonna need the taming points. Before I leave, however, this is the perfect time to match out professions and the like. If it's your first time leaving heaven, you're gonna feel a bit underwhelmed because you're gonna realize you can barely live with anything. Before, you could live with so much more, 10 gold, 5 different stacks, then they had to nerf that, then they have to nerf that again. So because a few players were trying to exploit heaven as much as possible all the time, we cannot have nice things anymore, and new players must leave heaven without literally anything. In my opinion, the stuff you leave from heaven should be account bound instead of character bound. So it's a nice thing to have one time only, instead of being able to delete your character and keep doing the same process over and over again. The first thing you do on whatever city you pick is grab 5 silver, get a pickaxe, and mine granum for your stones. I am going to explain how to track horses as a beginner. First, you need to go to mortalonlinemap.info on a browser, and you will see this. We are gonna close all this shit, useless, we don't need any of this. Okay, right now we are gonna see a lot of dots and we are gonna get kinda lost. So the first thing we need to do is go to all the markets and remove anything that we don't need right now. As you can see, this is barely an impediment. I only have the horses and nothing else. We save, and now we see the horses. For example, if we are on Tindrem, we can see that the closest one is this one, and then you have these two a bit further away, these 3. If we are on Meduli, we have 2 super close. So on whatever city we spawn, we are on Morincourt, we have... Before there was something here, maybe they removed that one. We're in Morincourt, we have these ones. If we are on Moki, we have this one. If we are on Bakti, we have this and this. I never went to this one, I know this too. Whatever the city we pick, here we can see the nearest horses. So let's say we pick Tindrem. Okay, what we are gonna do after we know the location we want to go, for example this one, we're gonna go back to the filters and we're gonna select all the hotspots, PV hotspots. We're gonna select all the other spawns of critters. Now we know what's around of our horse. There's a bandit camp here. We need to go past this villa if we go straight, and there's a bunch of ruins. There is Razorbacks below, there's a Springbok nearby, there's Belbus up north of the spawn. So if we get to any of these landmarks, we can get a better idea. Tindrem entrance is here. Leaving the town, we are gonna go southeast, and there is a few extra on the in-game map. If you go to the in-game map, you will see this with the areas of the keeps. This is super obnoxious, and is super hard to read, so we remove this filter and then we zoom as much as we want and we say, okay, Tindrem is here and on the map is below the lake. We search for similar landmarks and then we check what guilds have houses around the location we want to go. So we can also correlate. If we go to and see a house, we point to the house, and if the house says black team, we know we are here. This mountain range is this mountain range in this map. So we know that the horses must be around here. Now for our second priority after Granum, getting a horse. We're gonna try to leave town as light as possible. Some fulminate pods to throw some stones if we meet monsters, maybe some calamine, maybe some bandage, but nothing else. The mentality here is you have nothing to lose, whatever happens. If they wanna kill you, the only thing you can do is run. You have literally nothing on your toolkit yet. You have no magic skills, you have no spells, you have only 7 clades, you have no equipment, you have no regents. On the bright side, if you die, you are only losing 20 to 50 silver, which is 3 walker heads on the graveyard. So go ahead and explore. If you see new ruins you have never discovered, go there, check them up. If you see other players, approach to them, tell them, see what they're up to, make conversation. Let them know you're new, ask them for tips. 90% of the people you're gonna meet are super friendly. The other 10 are just waiting forever on some key spots and they kill everything on sight. So yeah, you might meet one of those that are gonna kill you on sight because they don't know if you are disguised as a noob or just a noob, so they have to kill you to check the loot. But other than that, I guarantee you that if you try to be friendly to people and approach them, they are gonna be friendly to you, back to you. And if for whatever reason at the time you're playing they are not, just pick another city. It's impossible that on every city you're gonna meet hostile people. As you can see, I'm clearing anything slower than me that is gonna give me something I want. These abandoned houses or ruins or whatever are usually called points of interest, and they usually have some sort of coffer or chest or barrel you can check. If nobody has been there in a while, a few hours, you will see loot, and sometimes you will see crazy stuff inside those chests. Now, the following is the type of interaction that makes my day whenever I play this game. I didn't use voice chat because I didn't want to get recognized, but if you're on the same situation and you can use voice chat, please do. It's going to be 10 times better.
What up? What you out here doing? Guess I'm not. Well, how's it going, bro? Oh, here. You ain't got riding skill, huh? I got you. Hopefully you have taming skill at least learned, or you're not gonna be able to tame the horse probably. It's somebody's horse. Oh, here's the horses. No problem, bro. Take care. Oh no, you good, bro. I appreciate you though. Put that towards some dollars, something. Take care, man. Happy holidays.
Big props to Miriam, not only for showing the horse spawn to a new player, but also for bearing with him not having any riding skills and not wanting anything in return at the end. On top of that, if we ever meet again and he's in need of a helping hand, I will make sure to help him back. If you are down bad in Tindrem for whatever the reason, there is this garden, you can go and pick flowers. The blue ones are super expensive on the vendor, so you can get around 4 to 5 gold in 15 to 20 minutes, which is not bad. The problem is that they take a lot to respawn, so if you go there and someone has been behind you, you will get half or less, but it's good to know. Tindrem, Faverun and Morincourt also have a sewer system full of scoundrels and a few bosses at the end, but I don't recommend it for new players, much less mages, because all the dungeons in the game are considered free for all, and you should expect fighting other players. Not only that, the experience the scoundrels give has been nerfed, so it's only 6 per scoundrel. You can do so much better Claydo's side and get so much better rewards. Also, as you will see on this clip, there is always people there, so you are gonna be constantly fighting for scraps if you want to farm there. I was barely on the entrance of the dungeons and I have met already 3 people. One of them doesn't show on video, but I was hearing them fighting scoundrels on the distance, and on my way out we meet another one. So in less than no time we meet 4 different people going to the same place. This is why I want to give you more of a gameplay philosophy, approach to the game, and resources for your toolkit. Because if I tell you, okay, this is the best place you can get the most amount of gold per hour here, it's not gonna matter. If you go there and there's 20 other people doing the same thing, it's not gonna be the best thing anymore. You need to be fluid and adapt and overcome whenever you go to a place to farm and there's liabilities there. This is a beginner mistake that you can easily avoid. I was farming some points of interest and then I realized I had aggro on a few mobs. First, I didn't knew there was an archer, and second, I did dismount way too close to them. Whenever this happened to you and you are on mount, don't dismount unless you are very far away or you have lost aggro already. I was able to survive and outrun the encounter, but sadly Slender the First died. Rest in peace, Slender the First. I want to show you how to start on multiple different cities anew, because you need to know that there's nothing to fear. You can't go anywhere, even if you don't have anything on that town, unless there is some hostile guilds there doing a hostile takeover of anyone coming close. You definitely can go there naked and start anew. I recommend you to travel doing parcel runs, but if you don't have a horse for that, just go as a ghost and you can quickly and safely travel through the ether. No, Meduli graveyard, the best graveyard in the game, by far. You have guards right outside the door, and the butcher table is super close next to the bank. You can do trips to the butchery table in literally no time. Not only that, since it's so safe, there is always people there safely leveling clay, but they don't want to do the hassle of butcher and carry all the loot back with a horse and everything. They just grab the heads and leave the carcass there. So you can come here with a horse and just grab carcass from the ground. Unless you come here and there is 2 to 3 people on horse, just keep grabbing free carcass and go to the butchery table. Here you can level your butchery workbench super quick, and you can save all the bone tissue for leveling professions. On top of that, if you are done bad on money, it is a decent gold per hour. It's mind-numbing, but I think you can get around 20 gold per hour here. If you wanna do this but there's nobody, just go grab granum first and come back with a few pouches and stone the zombies yourself. And if you come and there is way too many people farming and you have to fight for the carcass, just ignore this, keep going further and kill bush pig, bell bush or whatever. They are equally rewarding. They are very close to the city, so there is not much downtime traveling. Other than that, remember that if you farm here, you need to have criminal actions enabled, and people can grief you to no end. If they see throwing you stones and you are fighting for their zombies, they are gonna put themselves in behind you and jump as soon as you finish a cast, so you go criminals because you attack them first, you know, and you are gonna lose everything and you are not gonna be able to report the murder. By the way, people think that Meduli is only Sabura, there is no Granum here, but Granum is super close whether you go south or north. I prefer to go north to get my Granum because it's a bit safer in my opinion. On the south side there's people usually trying to grief on the choke points, so you might get your horse killed. On the north it's a bit further away, but nobody usually bothers you there. At this point it's getting super annoying to farm as a mage on foot, not because you cannot kill the mobs, but because the horse gets in the way for every single thing. If you leave your horse and stay further away, you are gonna get overweight when looting, and you're gonna need to call your horse, and then you're gonna need to send your horse back and then come back again to the same place to keep farming, because if monsters respawn on top of the horse, or if they get close enough, they are gonna swap aggro to him. If you are running from the mobs and they cannot attack you, within a few seconds they are gonna swap to the horse, whether he's on stay on the other side of the map or not. Sometimes you can call the horse and he will teleport to you because he's super far away, but the mobs were switching aggro from you to the horse. It's crazy. So you take twice as long to do what you could do by yourself, just because you need to be doing micro on the horse for him to survive. Not only that, you are as a mage on foot, you are tied to fight monsters that are slower than you. You are very limited, and even if you are playing it safe, you can get ambushed by outlaws and outcasts, all these dynamic spawns that pop on top of you, and they will mess up with your plans really badly. Here is such an example. Rest in peace, Slender the Second. So, because horse management on foot is a fucking nightmare, and we don't have still enough wealth and assets to build up our elementalism and necromancy, we have plenty of points to spare. I'm gonna level Mountain Magery in the meantime, so I can fence for myself till my build is complete, and at that point I maybe swap Mountain Magery. But for the beginning, it's super heavily recommended to do Mountain Magery. So just travel either with a horse and a few resources, or on a spirit, to any Kurai town. I choose Vadda because it was super close to Meduli, and at this point in time it was super empty and friendly. This might change in the future. If you go here and there's hostile people, just go to a different Kurai town for this. So what we're gonna do is what we did on the other towns previously on the video, and we are gonna get 5 gold for the control riding and 10 gold for the swift riding. The distance from this graveyard to the butchery table is too much for my taste, so whenever this happens, what you can do is butcher on the spot and store everything on the horse, but already processed, so you have to do wild strips. Once you have unlocked control riding and swift riding, it's time to go to Bakti. Grab a parcel room, carry lightweight items, don't go with anything you're not willing to lose. More so, if you don't have Mountain Magery yet, you have a low level horse without armor, you don't have any spells, you are using just the beginner spells, anyone that is willing to kill you is gonna be able to kill you. Don't get overly complicated, don't try to do weird routes if you don't know the ubication, because you're gonna get lost. Just follow the road, follow the signs, post, and if someone wants to kill you, so be it. You finish the trip on ghost mode and start anew like we did on every other city on this video. Worst case scenario did happen, but this is only a 10-minute setback because now we have to go grab a horse once we reach the city. Rest in peace, Slender the Third. For this leveling method, we only need water, 100 or so calamine, and the horse. If we wanna get fancy, we can also get some dial, but we can feed the horse just water. Just make sure the horse is always fed up. The hunger doesn't go over 500. We are gonna go and find the training dummies, and next to them there's a hut on which your character can cross but not your horse. Then we are gonna log out inside there with the horse on follow, and once we come logging back, the horse is gonna be next to us, so the horse is gonna be inside the hut and he can never leave. Whenever a horse collides with terrain, he's always gonna try to auto-turn, and you cannot cast while turning, but if the horse is auto-turning, you are not giving him directions to turn, you can still be casting. So what you're gonna do is just push forward a bit, and with the horse going forward, he's gonna be auto-turning constantly, and you are going to be able to be constantly casting onto yourself without problems. Once the horse is walking forward, we just need to be pushing the single button on of cast self until we get all the skill points we need. Leveling Mountain Mastery to 90 or around there is going to be around 1500 cast, and that's 2.5 seconds per cast. The base cast is 1 second, but while mounted, all cast time is double. And then you have the animation is a bit shorter than usual. Animation while on foot is 1 second, half a second before and half a second after. And here on mount is half a second overall, a quarter of a second before and a quarter of a second after. So spur is 2 seconds and a half while mounted. So if I do the math, I did use 1500 water, but I have thaumaturge, so I must have used 3000 casts overall. At 2.5 seconds per cast, it's gonna be a bit over 2 hours, but if you count for downtime of getting food for the horse, you go to alt tab, it's gonna be around 3 hours, and you can do this while doing something else. The last 10 points I'm not even gonna bother, I'm gonna let those come eventually while I'm farming. Swift riding is gonna take much longer, but you can leave your character here away from keyboard at that point. You don't need to be constantly clicking. You don't need to wait for that to go to 100 either. If you wanna go to sleep and leave the horse doing this, it might be good. Maybe once you come back, if the horse was well fed, you will have plenty of swift riding, but it's not mandatory. Swift riding is a skill you are gonna get just by virtue of moving around. It's not like you have to have it at the first day or whatever. It doesn't matter if it takes weeks for it to level. After we are happy with our level or mounted skills, what I'm gonna do is go back to Meduli graveyard and try to level horse armor crafting there with all the bounties who I'm getting from the zombies. At that point, I'm ready to get my first ecumenical scrolls. It's gonna be a bit annoying to find someone to scribe them for me, because I'm definitely not level scribing as a solo player. That's a living nightmare. But I think that mana is still around doing the scribing for dirty cheap. Some people will do it for free, some others will charge up to 5 gold per scroll. If you find my character Norman around in the world, my main character, that one has 100 scribing, I will gladly scribe for you. I usually charge 5 gold per scroll, but if you have watched till the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you a little trick. I also take a walker head per scroll scribe. So if you're a new player and you don't have any resources yet, and you're building your book, I will gladly do it for next to free. It's just the meme to know that you care about this and you have watched this at the very least, and I will scribe you for a walker head per scroll. But this is plenty of content for one video. I think I'm gonna stop here for now. Also, I wanted to do like a starting point on every city, but the next patch, Unreal Engine 5, is super close, and with that patch we're gonna get way more content for new players, because we're getting all the tax system and everything, and I didn't want to make, oh, this is how much gold per hour you can do this, and then next patch in a week time everything is void and null because we have better system on the game. So until I try the new task system on everything, I think I'm gonna take a chill for at least a week and then see what happens. So see you guys next week or whenever the patch is released.